Colonel Kate Morrison stood at Earth Defense Command's main viewport, watching nuclear flashes light up the night sky over Denver. The Galactic Council's ultimatum had expired 10 minutes ago. Now, humanity was paying the price for refusing to submit. Status report. She barked into her cum. The command center behind her buzzed with frantic activity as officers rushed between holographic displays. Multiple orbital strikes, Colonel. They're targeting our major defense installations first, Lieutenant Paul Harris said, his voice tight with stress. Beijing is gone. Moscow too. They're methodically working their way through our command structure. Morrison clenched her jaw. The Council, those privileged humans who decolonized the stars centuries ago and built their empire, had finally returned to claim their ancestral home. But Earth wouldn't go down without a fight. Launch all remaining fighters. Get our orbital platforms online. She turned to face the tactical display. And someone get me Admiral right on the line now. The massive screen flickered to life, showing the Admiral's grim face. Blood ran down one side of his head. Kate, we're getting slaughtered up here. Their tech is decades ahead of ours, maybe centuries. Hold the line, sir. The lunar bases, the screen went black. Morrison's blood ran cold as new alerts flooded in. Colonel Harris shouted, "Passive energy signature detected." They're powering up something big in high orbit. Morrison grabbed the command rail as the building shook. Through the viewport, she watched a brilliant beam of light slice through the clouds. The beam struck somewhere in the Rockies, and a shockwave of blinding energy expanded outward. "Get me everything we have on that weapon," she ordered, "and patch me through to all remaining commands worldwide." Static filled the channels, but a few voices responded. Morrison took a deep breath. "This is Colonel Morrison. As of now, I'm assuming emergency command of Earth's military forces. The Council thinks they can simply walk in and take our world. They think we're primitive, weak, unworthy. They're wrong." She watched more beams pierce the clouds, more explosions bloom on the horizon. "We have contingency plans they don't know about. We have strength they can't imagine. And we have something they lost long ago, the will to fight for our home at any cost." The building shook again. Warning lights bathed the command center in red. Through the chaos, Morrison spotted something on a secondary display that made her heart stop. The lunar base wasn't just destroyed, it had vanished completely. And in its place, something massive was emerging from the moon's shattered surface. The massive structure rising from the moon's crater wasn't Council technology. It was Earth's secret weapon, the Phoenix Array, a planetary defense system built inside the lunar core over decades. Morrison's relief was short-lived. A priority alert flashed across her screen. Council dropships breaching atmosphere. Ground invasion imminent. "Get me General Curtis," she ordered. Response came through, garbled. "Kate, they're everywhere. New York is overrun. The Council's using some kind of neural control on civilians. Our own people are turning against us." The command center's blast doors sealed automatically. Outside, emergency sirens wailed. "The Phoenix Array is our last chance," Morrison said. "We need to hold them off until it's fully charged." "How long, Harris? 20 minutes, minimum." "But, Colonel?" ... double quotes. Harris's voice cracked. "We've got a bigger problem. Someone's transmitting our defense codes to the Council fleet." Morrison drew her sidearm and scanned the room. "Trace it now. Signals coming from ... double quotes. Harris checked his display. "Command level. You're the primary reactor." The lights flickered. Morrison felt her stomach drop as she recognized the implications. If the reactor went down, the entire base would be defenseless. She sprinted for the reactor chamber, boots echoing on metal floors. The security feed showed a familiar figure at the control panel, Major Steve Blackwood, her second in command. "Oh," she demanded, bursting through the door with her weapon raised. Blackwood didn't turn around. "The Council's going to win, Kate. They already control 90% of known space. Earth is just the last holdout. So you sold us out? Betrayed everything we fought for?" "I made a deal to save what's left of humanity." He faced her, hands raised. "They'll spare the major population centers. Limited autonomy under Council rule? It's better than extinction." Morrison's finger tightened on the trigger. "You don't know what they really want, and you do." The reactor warning light shifted from green to red. Blackwood smiled. "It's done. The reactor's going into overload. Phoenix Array will never power up now. Morrison fired twice. Blackwood fell, but the damage was done. The reactor countdown had begun. Through the reinforced windows, she watched Council warships descend through the burning sky. They had 13 minutes until reactor failure. The Phoenix Array needed 20. Unless there was another way, one that would cost everything, but might give Earth its only chance at survival. Morrison raced back to the command center, shoving past panicked personnel. The reactor countdown echoed through the base's speakers. 12 minutes remaining. Harris, get me Dr. Laura Chen from Project Helios. Now. The scientist's face appeared on screen, her lab in chaos behind her. Colonel, we're evacuating. The Council forces are? The fusion core prototype? Is it operational? Chen's eyes widened. It's untested. The energy output, could it power the Phoenix Array? Yes, but whoever connects it would absorb lethal radiation. There's no shielding. Morrison nodded grimly. Send the activation codes to my neural link. Then get your people out. Harris grabbed her arm. Colonel, you can't. Let me. Get to the backup command center, Lieutenant. That's an order. She pulled free and ran toward the lower levels. The prototype lab was 3 levels down. Morrison's neural link flashed warnings as explosions rocked the base. Council forces had breached the outer defenses. She reached the lab's sealed doors, entering her override code. Inside, the fusion core hummed with barely contained power. Its blue glow filled the room. Morrison's cum crackled. Colonel, Council dropships are landing on the roof, Harris reported. For minutes until reactor failure, she began connecting power cables to her tactical suit. Hands steady despite everything. The fusion core's interface burned her palms as she typed in the activation sequence. Harris, listen carefully. When I connect the core, you'll have 30 seconds of full power to the array. Make it count. Kate, there has to be another. There isn't. She took a deep breath. It's been an honor, Paul. Morrison slammed the final connection into place. Energy surged through her suit, searing pain flooding every nerve. But through the agony, she smiled. The Phoenix Array was powering up. Energy spike detected. Harris shouted through the comm. Array charging at 300% capacity. Morrison fell to her knees, skin burning. Through the lab's viewport, she watched the massive array unfold above Earth, its weapon ports glowing with impossible power. Then her neural link picked up a Council transmission that made her blood freeze. The array wasn't their real target. ID wanted something else all along, something buried deep beneath Earth's surface since the beginning of human civilization. The fusion core's energy was keeping her alive, just long enough to realize humanity's greatest mistake. The fusion core's energy kept Morrison conscious as she accessed restricted files through her neural link. The truth hit her like a physical blow. Earth wasn't humanity's birthplace. It was their prison. Harris, she gasped through the pain. The Council isn't here to conquer us. They're here to contain us. What are you talking about? His voice shook. Project Genesis. Deep beneath the Pacific. It's not a weapon. It's a gateway. Our ancestors built it before the Council locked them here. Before they made us forget. Warning alerts flashed. Council forces were breaching the lab's outer doors. The array, Morrison commanded. Target these coordinates. She transmitted the location through her neural link. But that's the middle of the ocean, Harris protested. Trust me. Fire everything we have. The Phoenix Array unleashed its full power. Energy beams pierced the clouds, converging on a single point in the Pacific. The ocean began to boil. Morrison's tactical suit was melting into her skin, but the fusion core kept her alive. Through security feeds, she watched Council troops falling back, retreating to their ships. They're running, Harris reported. Why the ocean exploded upward? A massive structure of impossible geometry rose from the depths, its surface covered in symbols that hurt to look at. Project Genesis awakened after 10,000 years. Colonel, what is that thing? Our true history? Morrison forced herself to stand, even as her body failed. The Council split from Earth centuries ago. They built their empire while keeping us trapped here, primitive and ignorant. But some of us remembered. We built the gateway in secret, waiting for the right moment. The lab doors burst open. Council soldiers in advanced combat suits rushed in, weapons raised. Their commander stepped forward, removing his helmet. Step away from the core, Colonel Morrison. His accent was strange, ancient. You don't understand what you're unleashing. Morrison laughed through bloody teeth. No, Commander, you don't understand what we are. She grabbed the fusion core with both hands, ripping it from its housing. Energy surged through her dying body. Harris, she screamed over the com. Full power to Genesis. Override code Morrison 7 Alpha. The core detonated. The lab vanished in blinding light. But in her last moment of consciousness, Morrison felt it. The gateway opening, reality tearing apart, and the true power of humanity awakening after millennia of enforced sleep. The Council's greatest fear was becoming reality. Harris stared at his displays in awe as Project Genesis unleashed waves of golden energy across Earth's surface. Every human on the planet felt it, memories flooding back, neural blocks shattering, 10,000 years of suppressed power awakening. Generations of conditioning broke in an instant. They locked away our true abilities, a voice said behind him. Harris spun around. Morrison stood in the doorway, her body reconstructed by energies he couldn't comprehend. Her eyes glowed with ancient power. How? He whispered. The fusion core didn't kill me. It finished what Genesis started, what the Council feared most. She walked to the viewport, watching humanity's transformation unfold. We were never meant to be trapped on one world. We were meant to shape reality itself. Council emergency broadcasts filled every channel. Their leaders begged for surrender, offering peace, promising reform. Too late, from the Pacific, Genesis rose higher, its impossible architecture reaching into space. Similar structures emerged on every continent, humanity's buried legacy revealing itself. They split our species in two, Morrison explained. The Council took the stars, but locked away their power. They kept the power, but were imprisoned here. Now the cycle ends. Harris felt new awareness flood his mind. Equations of reality itself. The ability to reshape matter, powers that science called impossible. Colonel, what do we do now? Morrison turned to him, her expression both terrible and beautiful. We remind the Council why they feared us enough to build their empire on lies, why they rewrote history to hide the truth. Through the viewport, they watched Earth's transformed defenders take the battle to the stars. Council ships fell by the hundreds as humanity's full potential was unleashed. But first, Morrison said, we find the others, the lost colonies, the forgotten worlds. Everyone they trapped and deceived, thinking they could play at being gods. Genesis pulsed, opening portals across space. This will shake the universe. Morrison nodded, watching Earth's forces pursue the retreating Council fleet. No more prisons, no more lies. Her eyes flared with power. The real war is just beginning. Above them, Genesis reached its full height, its ancient surfaces blazing with humanity's awakened glory. The stars themselves seemed to tremble as Earth's children finally came home to claim their birthright. The universe would never be the same.